Good morning, and welcome to our Pathfinder Year-in Review, Best Practices and Successes. I'm Scott Hilsey, and I am from the Valley of Philadelphia, where I currently serve as Second Lieutenant Commander of the Benjamin Franklin Consistory. I'm also the Pathfinder Advisory Board member for Eastern Pennsylvania, covering Allentown, Bloomsburg, Philadelphia, Reading, and Scranton, and I'm the co-chairman of the program for the Northern Masonic Jurisdiction. Today we'll be discussing the development of the program, some data from our members, and best practices on how you can effectively utilize the program. As you know, Pathfinder was released in April 2022 as a program designed to encourage member engagement and involvement. Over the course of this past year, the program has evolved to include an advisory board that can interface with members at a more local level. Our mile markers have been refined and expanded to encourage participation, and we've held monthly orientations to introduce interested members to the program. It is offered without cost to all our members once they've achieved their 32nd degree. It's also possible to start prior to that point and may be a useful tool as part of your Valley's mentoring program. Those 4th degree members won't have access to record items in Member Center, but can still be guided through appropriate mile markers and record progress manually. As Valley leaders, I know you recognize the importance of member engagement. Brothers who get involved, feel included, and understand the options they have in our fraternity are much more likely to maintain their membership and participate. It's our duty as leaders to make sure that engagement happens and to empower the success of the membership. When Pathfinder was released, I immediately began working my way through it. Not because I wanted a badge on my Member Center profile or a lapel pin, but because I was a Valley officer. If a member approached me and asked about the program, I don't know would not have been an acceptable response. I needed to develop an understanding of how the program worked and what was involved. As I completed the program, I realized what a great tool it could be to answer the "what do I do next" question often posed by new members. Pathfinder is designed to expose participants to every facet of our fraternity, from degree participation to event attendance to knowledge of how our jurisdiction is governed. Pathfinder, when supported at the local level, has the potential to greatly increase member engagement. Let's review our first year in this program, where we can take a look at some of the feedback we've received. When a brother completes his first path through the program, he is given the opportunity to provide feedback through a survey. The data provided helps us know how it's being received, what's working, what members want to see going forward, etc. Here are some of the takeaways from the information we received. Length of membership has not been a significant factor. Pathfinder has been completed by members who freshly received the 32nd degree. It's been completed by officers, MSA recipients, 33rd degree honorary members, and actives. While the more experienced members might have an easier finding answers and are already actively participating, newer members have very successfully navigated the program to completion. As you see from the data here, the time in service of our participants represents a cross-section of our membership. No single time range really stands out. Would you recommend the program to others? 97.6% said yes, with almost 70% of the respondents saying extremely. Extremely yes isn't a phrase I typically use, but it sounds encouraging. Almost a quarter said that they would very much recommend it. Here we see how members have rated various aspects of the program. 88.4% of respondents described the program as above average to excellent, with almost 2/3 falling into the excellent category. 52.4% described the mile markers as moderately challenging. This indicates to me that we have a program that requires effort but isn't overwhelming. I will here remark that the point of the program is not to be pedantic. The responses are not scrutinized. The very first mile marker that appears in the guidebook, Organization Number 1, asks, how many Scottish Rite jurisdictions are there in North America? Do you know the answer to that? As it turns out, most of us do not. Even the team that worked on developing the program initially never came to an agreement. It's a surprisingly complicated question. Some people immediately say 2. Some say 4, especially initially. Some have a sudden realization that North America contains many more countries than the United States. Even ignoring irregular jurisdictions, we quickly realize that the number might be bigger than originally thought. Questions like this promote research and do a nice job of illustrating just how far Scottish Rite has spread. The answer itself isn't nearly as important as the experience of performing the research and the knowledge that comes from it. My answer was 13, by the way, and I have reason to believe that I might be a little short. Some of the survey questions ask members to respond in their own words, which gives a nice view into what they think and what we need to do. Quote, "This is an amazing program that makes learning about Scottish Rite engaging and fun." End quote. That sounds pretty good. Quote, "It was amazing. I believe it has us as Scottish Rite Masons learning what we should already know about Scottish Rite and doing what we should already be doing as Scottish Rite Masons." Also some great feedback, very positive. This was a fantastic experience. Being a Valley officer and involved in many different areas of the fraternity, a lot of this was already being done. I really enjoyed reading about the HGA essays and the blogs on education and leadership. I have found new avenues to grow and will continue to utilize these to help shape myself into a terrific leader like all those before me have done. This program is incredible. It gave me a much better insight to what Scottish Rite has to offer and is available. I learned a lot of what I did not know. These 3 stood out to me as opportunities. Number 1, I look forward to sharing this with my Valley and increasing the number of men participating. I believe that a less active member, non-officer, that would start this process would become a more active member. We're presented here with the idea that getting new members involved might help them become more active members. Number 2, open to new Scottish Rite experience that is not given when you start your journey. Opening a new experience not given when you start your journey. A lot of members don't realize all that we have to offer. We need to raise awareness and engage them. Number 3, excellent. Once I got on to how this worked, I'm not real computer savvy. Have we ever encountered a brother not computer savvy? Perhaps a few. This highlights the importance of local engagement. If we help these brothers overcome a hurdle by connecting with them, we might get more participation and more member value. Anyone can participate in Pathfinder. We've had newly minted 32nd degree members pursue the program, as well as actives. More experienced members will probably find that they are already completing many of the requirements and know answers to many of the questions. It's still beneficial to develop an understanding of the program for the sake of your members, and you will still likely find the program rewarding and interesting. Today, the program is geared to be inclusive, and any member should be able to complete it based on normal activity. In the future, you might see the program evolve a bit more and include more advanced mile markers that are geared toward Valley officers and leaders. Let's get into some best practices you can utilize in your Valley. I don't presume to know what works best for you, so I won't posit that there's a one-size-fits-all solution. These are suggestions that I believe will be beneficial, and I'm happy to discuss implementation or any thoughts you might have about how best to achieve participation. Number 1, include Pathfinder in your orientation program. You're educating your new members anyway, so providing them information on this self-guided tour through Scottish Rite might help bring them up to speed. They can explore on their own, and they can ask questions of Valley leaders to learn more and develop more personal relationships. Number 2, encourage your leaders to become knowledgeable of the program. Having your leaders understand how the program works and what's involved can help answer the questions your members have. It will also help you create new opportunities as you learn what's involved and what your members need to achieve success. Number 3, appoint a member or a committee to serve as local program representation. If you explain the program to your members and then direct them to points of contact who can guide them, they'll be more quickly enabled to achieve progress. These brothers can also help raise awareness of what interests the members and help leaders plan accordingly. Number 4, utilize activity sheets during events and reunions. I'll talk a little bit more about that next. These activity sheets were first designed by illustrious Mark McGee from New Jersey. They offer a brief introduction and guide members to easily achievable mile markers during your events. This one is from the Valley of Philadelphia reunion that took place on 22 April 2023. It starts off with a brief introduction welcoming the member, providing a brief explanation, and offering a point of contact. And here we see some mile markers. At this event, members could encounter the presiding officers, learn about how the various Scottish Rite bodies work together, and meet and speak with a deputies rep, an active emeritus member of Supreme Council. Not being visited by an active? You've probably got some honorary members running around. MSA recipients? Probably doing something meritorious to ensure the success of the event. Attending the events themselves counts, as does participation in a degree, speaking or non-speaking, saying the prayer before the meal, leading the flag ceremony, etc. There are a lot of activities we're all doing at every event. Just by pointing them out, members might jump at the opportunity to get involved. If you're still unfamiliar with Pathfinder, I encourage you to attend one of our live orientation events. They're done every month on the second Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m., and you can get there by following the URL on this slide. If you can't attend, I encourage you to contact either me or your local advisory board member. A list of board members and contact information is found at srnmj.org/pathfinder. This unfortunate-looking brother is me. What he lacks in ability, he makes up for with a burning desire to help. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. In addition to being the co-chairman of the program, I am the Pennsylvania East Advisory Board member. This does not preclude me from helping you if you're from Western or Central Pennsylvania. A.J. Antimary and illustrious Bud Baker are the respective reps from those areas, but any of us will help you at any point. If you're seeing this and you're not from Pennsylvania at all, still, any of us will help you. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Please let me know how I can help. Thank you, and journey on.